overpriced? There has been this buzzing topic on the internet, Lagos and Nigeria in general, regarding the rate of real estate in Lagos, whether it is overpriced or not. Now I want to drop my 2 cents, and I'm asking this very, very important question. Is the real estate in Lagos overpriced? The answer is yes. But wait, before you run along with half gist, let's even look at why the real estate in Lagos is at the very high cost or high price the way it is at the moment. So whether you're a prospective buyer, an investor, or you're just curious about real estate market trends, you have probably noticed the skyrocketing prices of houses in Lagos. The main question is, who are we to blame for this? Now, before we start pointing fingers, we need to first understand why the property prices in Lagos are at a high price in the first place. The property market in Lagos is being guided or ruled by a whole lot of factors. And these factors are what determines the price that you see in apartments, in houses, and even offices. First, let's look at demand and supply. Lagos State is the economic hub of Nigeria, and the population rises on a daily basis. Statistically, it is stated that about 6,000 persons come into Lagos State daily. Can you imagine that? And these persons come searching for greener pastures, looking for better opportunities. And this influx of humans will certainly impact on the real estate sector, because these persons would need where to live, where to stay, where to work. And all this will impact the cost of housing anywhere in real estate. So when demand increases and supply cannot meet up, certainly the prices will shoot up. And that is what we are experiencing here in Lagos, because there are not enough affordable housing in Lagos to meet the growing population demand. Recently, we had the Housing Deficit Summit to be able to discuss on issues regarding the shortage of houses in Lagos and the impact on the infrastructure of Lagos. Another major issue here is the issue of urbanization. People want to live in a certain area because of proximity to work, business, amenities, and lifestyle. And certainly this will impact on the value of housing in these particular locations. So what happens when demand increases and supply is low? Certainly prices will shoot up. Another thing we should look at is inflation. Inflation and its effect on the cost of building and construction materials. Currently, the inflation in Nigeria is about 34.4%. This is an all-time high in the last 30 years. So there is no how that this will not impact on the cost of housing, because these developers will always want to, keep a particular profit margin. And when they spend this much in construction, both in the exterior and the interior, certainly prices of housing will always go up. Another major factor to consider is the developers and real estate speculators. Now, the developers mostly build premium houses aimed or targeting wealthy Nigerians and expatriates. And these houses are often priced in such a way that the average Lagosians cannot be able to afford them. So you see, certainly this set of persons will consider housing in Lagos to be overpriced, because the type of housing that are being built are what they cannot afford. Another major issue is speculative buying. Some investors buy land or property, they sit on it for a while and wait for prices to go up before selling. And this will certainly artificially drive up prices, making properties less accessible to the average person. And on the other hand, we can also rule out entirely the, the human greed, which also affects everyone in every sphere of life, you know. So some people will want to certainly make all the money they want to make in their life in one property. So we can't rule that out entirely. But then that is not even the major issue. Another very vital factor to consider is the government. The government, the policies, and taxation. Take Lagos for example. Do you know the cost of acquiring a CFO in Lagos? Do you know how much is being charged for building plan approval in this state? Certainly, all these will be factored into the pricing of any house. These are some of the challenges that developers also face in the city of Lagos. The taxations and other non-state actors who come into play during the process of construction. We hear things like you have to settle Omonile, you have to do this and that. All these are factored in before pricing is being given out for any particular apartment. Then there is also the issue of land titles, which complicates property ownership and increases the risk of investors, making them raise their prices to cover for all these other challenges. So, are you still asking if the houses in Lagos are overpriced? With all these factors in play, we see a property market where regular Nigerians are being priced out. Many can't afford to buy or even rent in their preferred locations. And this has led to the rapid growth of informal settlements and slums, just as you see we have in Lagos here, where people have no choice but to live in an unsafe and substandard condition. It is important to also note that these housing challenges also hinders the development of Lagos to a very large extent. The lack of affordable housing creates social inequality and stifles economic mobility for the average person. Simply put it this way, Lagos' potential as a city is limited by its real estate crisis. So, who exactly are we to blame for all this? To be very factual with you, the bulk of the blame will go to the government because they hold the power to bring in real change and adjustment in this sector. But then again, you can still see that the answer for who is to blame is still a very complicated one because it's a combination of factors. The governments with the inadequacies of policies and land management, developers for their high focus on luxury properties rather than affordable housing, investors and speculators who manipulate the market for their own profit. Let's not also forget global economic trends like inflation, currency devaluation, and the rising cost of building and construction materials. All this determines the price of housing in Lagos. At the end of the day, with all this at play, it is the people or those who want to buy properties in Lagos that suffer the most because the market becomes more and more inaccessible. A holistic approach is needed where we should have better government policies, one, increase investment in affordable housing, and more transparent and fair real estate market. Until then, the city's dream of affordable housing will just remain a dream. The particular reason why I decided to make this video and take the time to break this down for proper understanding is because there is a self-proclaimed crusader who is going about championing the cause of high cost of housing in Lagos. Let me tell you something. While many of you are cheering me on, as a seasoned real estate consultant in Lagos, I can tell you for a fact that I see through his motives. Yes, he doesn't care about you or your finances. In fact, this is his own way of launching into the market because he's already advertising his verification business now, where he's telling people to reach out to him before they buy a property so that he can help them verify it at a price. Anyways, I give it to him. It's actually a very smart marketing ploy. But like I said, do not be deceived. My name is Ado Kosi, and I'm your friend and trusted realtor here in Lagos, Nigeria. And I ensure you make the right real estate investment decision any day, anytime. I also have amazing negotiation skills that I deploy to ensure that all my clients buy properties at the right price. So, for your next property investment here in Lagos and Nigeria in general, I am your shop lord. Reach out to me and let me help make the process a very seamless one for you. If you found this video very insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Also, leave a comment and tell me what you think are the major factors or the biggest challenge that leads to high pricing or high cost of real estate in Lagos. Until I come your way again next time, I'm still your friend and trusted realtor in Lagos, Nigeria. Bye bye.